Tay-K sentenced to 80 years in prison. This is for the 2017 killing of Mark Saldivar when they took his shit. A lot of people say he didn't film the race with that camera equipment, but it doesn't even matter at this point. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Look, he was facing life in prison with the possibility of parole if convicted of capital murder, but he was acquitted of that. They went for the lesser charge, but it still came with 80 years. 80 years plus 55 he already served, and that's 135 years for you YNs that can't add. This is the YN package. Unfortunately, y'all pay attention, because unfortunately, the way y'all living, this is how it's gonna end for a lot of y'all, bro. Y'all doing stupid shit or have already done stupid shit, and once those things catch up to you, you won't be looking at Tay-K like he's the biggest dumbass. You'd feel like an asshole for joining him. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Tay-K wanted to be famous so bad. Now he finally got it. He's the most famous YN rapper there will ever be. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. And Tay-K had a hard life growing up, yeah, but it's no excuse to go out and do the things he did. Doesn't make sense, bro. You got to make that make sense. If the time don't fit the crime, don't do it, bro. Don't do it, man. All that for some camera equipment. You know what I mean? Doing the race. And if I'm being honest, the race is still one of my favorite songs to this day, dog. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. I have to drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. Blackson throwing shots at Katt Williams. Look, he say he's seen 3 sets. They was all whacked, tired, and watered down. He said Katt need to just give it up for a minute. Figure out some new jokes. A special every year ain't supposed to happen unless you're really about that action. And he say right now, 2025, Katt Williams, it ain't so like the specials aren't special right now, including the woke folk. He say he tries to get into it, but he just can't feel him right now. Look, y'all drop it in the comments, bro. Comedy is in the eyes of the beholder. I would say Katt Williams has never been extremely funny, but he said some outlandish things on Club Shay Shay that made people think he was going to give you like this old school Dave Chappelle set. You know what I mean? Katt is cool. Shout out Katt Williams. Doing big things, major things. We thought he'd be finished a long time ago when the little 16-year-old choked him out. Let's just be honest. But that's Katt. That's why Katt is funny, because he does those things, the realistic events that make his life look fucked up, make us laugh at him, not laugh with him. That's always been Katt Williams, you know what I mean? But Michael Blackson got a point, bro. You can't just keep doing comedy specials after special after special after special and still talking about the same shit. Now, everywhere you go, I told both rotator cups, you know, doing push-ups and the push-ups. Like I said, it's hilarious, but it's tired, you know? Yeah, it's tired. It's like some chitlin sucking shit. You ain't on the chitlin sucking no more, Katt. Yeah, time to go to the next level, buddy. Time to go to the next level. Look, y'all drop it in the comments, man. Shout out Katt Williams and Michael Blackson, because I like him both. Young Thug lawyer Brian Steele applied to defend Diddy in his upcoming trial. Look, Diddy got about 5, 6 criminal cases that they looking to see dismissed, but I don't think this is gonna happen. See, Young Thug didn't even get his shit dismissed. Brian still did a lot for him, but let's just be honest, he ended up getting probation that they trying to revoke any day now. Yet Gotti got the best of the sentence, and Brian still was not his lawyer. Look, Diddy is gonna end up having to take a plea deal. Yeah, this is gonna be a plea deal. He's looking to take 40 years and 10 years on leg monitor. But unfortunately, money doesn't buy everything, bro. Not in 2025. Money doesn't buy everything. America wants to make an example out of these people. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. That's where we at right now. That America wants to make an example, and Diddy is going to be that guy. And a lot of people going to come with him. Drop it in the comments, bro. We're waiting, but it's nothing y'all gonna say that's gonna sway that opinion. They not letting Diddy go. Yeah, he wants probation. He wants to plead for this. I'll stay around away from kids. You got to do way more than that. You got to sit in that cell until you, I mean, we ain't gonna say 65, 70. We ain't gonna say that. They just want to see you get in that cell and you come out that bitch with an ailment. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. They want you to contract something while you're in there. Then they'll let you out. That's just how it go, bro. That's the sad truth. You know what I mean? My grandfather, rest his soul, used to rob banks. Spent most of his life in prison. You know what I mean? He was actually about that. What everybody say is on go. My grandfather was actually on go, bro. Spent most of his life in prison. When he got out, he died 2-3 weeks later of testicular cancer. That's just how it go, bro. They'll let you out when they know you got an ailment. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the play. Slim Thug waiting for his chance with Meg the Stallion. Sugar Daddy Slim, he say Meg got a crush on him, has had a crush on him since she brought him out in Houston. Where he say, did y'all see the Stallion dancing to Still Tipping and Thug from Around the Way? That gotta be at Coachella. If that ain't a I Want Daddy call, I don't know what is. You look, bro. Slim Thug. He always say the dumbest thing, stupidest shit. My partner Slim say the stupidest shit. I always say that. But this is another thing about Slim Thug, bro. Bro, that woman just being nice. Yeah, boy, being nice, paying homage. But when it comes for a woman, they always want to correlate that to the woman wants to fuck him. Sugar Daddy Slim, if that's what you call, that woman don't need no trick. What's she gonna do with you, bro? Stop always suggesting that these women want to sleep with you, Slim. That's where you getting it wrong, and that's why you can't find a woman to stay around with your ass. Despite having millions of dollars, you can't keep no woman for longer than a couple years. Drop it in the comment. This is why. Because you're with the ignorant shit that must stop, bro. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. Look, shout out Meg the Stallion. She do a whole lot of twerking. But that doesn't mean she do a whole lot of fucking. Not in 2025. The woman is trying to do something else, bro. And she's in a relationship. Some thugs set your whole ass up with that bullshit, please. Bangz selling $100 hoodie sets in Houston, fam. $100 BCB glitter top to bottom hoodie sets. Real shit. Come on, my nigga. It was all good about a week ago, and it ain't even this company. Joe Exotica this, Joe Exotica that. Look, bro, stop it with the lame shit, man. You should have used your platform when you had the chance to put more niggas on. You know what I mean? You wouldn't even put on Albert Walker, Sauce Walker. Not Sauce Walker has passed you up, bro. Nobody thinking about Kirko Bangz $100 BCBG hoodies. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, man. Some things, man, you shouldn't even hit the internet with, bro. They glittered the fuck down. Men don't wear that shit. A nigga don't want his ass hanging like that 24/7. Nigga, put you on some jeans, not no BCBG glitter hoodie set. I had my partner say, I can't wait to wear mine. You know what I mean? Nigga, you lying. Nigga see you in that shit. Nigga call you a 304. Little old hoe. And get the fuck out of here. Nigga, look here. Do something right with your money so you won't go from the top of the hill all the way to the bottom of that motherfucker. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Look, y'all drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. Fuck Kirko Bangz. You know, we not talking about the rock star. We talking about the Kurt Randall whole ass. You know what I mean? Drop it in the comments, bro. Scars from the playground. Boston Richey, born Revoked in Tallahassee, Florida, for family violence. Look, bro. Keep your hands off the women. Please, keep your hands off the women. This started in Houston. He wanted to see her phone. She wouldn't let him get it. He forced her in back of the car. This is no alleged. This is what the nigga did. He forced her in back of the car and he choked her out like 20 to 30 times, bro. She passed out and kept throwing up, waking up. It was two niggas, stool pigeons. I'm going to call them stool pigeons, sitting in the front seat, letting this happen. This is horrible, bro. They gonna beat the shit out of him in prison. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. He's a sucker and a certified snitch, bro. Character, bro. Total fucking character that had fans confused for a minute. He choked out 30 times, bro. I've never heard of nothing like this in my life, but he deserved everything he's gonna get in that bitch. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. A nigga with love to put my 6'4" grip around your motherfucking neck, hoe ass nigga, man. I can't stand that type of shit. And we all started from somewhere. I mean, we all started from somewhere. When I was young, I thought it was cool. And I threatened a bunch of times. Get the fuck out of my face. I smacked up. But that shit ain't cool, bro. That shit ain't cool. Lay off the drugs, YNs. Y'all must do that. Y'all must lay off the drugs, because the big bros and the unks aren't teaching y'all the right shit. They ain't laying down the right foundation, so y'all think it's good to go hit a bitch or a queen. The shit gonna land your, especially don't do that. Don't bring that whole ass shit to Houston, bro. We ain't doing nothing like that out here. It's not acceptable. Don't fuck with Texas. Do not fuck with Texas, bro. Y'all drop it in the comments, scars from the Diddy and the MDC hustling. He's selling $1 packets of mackerel, Jack Mac. Yeah, fish packets for $1. Switching that out. That's how they do it, bro. It's the barter system. You know what I mean? Barter system. Nigga, you want your fish? You give me this. You know what I mean? It might be a couple packets of Mac for a couple packs of chips, bro. That's just how it is, man. It ain't just dollar fish packets. The man and everybody in this institution, you learn how to maneuver, fam. You learn how to maneuver and get things done. You might end up paying 4 packets of mackerel, 2 bags of Doritos, and a Coke for a whole sleeve, bro. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. MDC only allowed them $180 every 2 weeks. You got to know how to operate in that bitch to live like you still rich. I'm just being, I don't like Diddy like that. You know what I mean? I ain't no Diddy fan. I've never been the type to ever attempt to get diddled. You know what I mean? Nothing like that. But on this type of level, it's sink or swim in that motherfucker. You either gonna sink or you gonna swim. Get down or lay down. He's getting down in that motherfucker. You got people doing all type of shit for him. You gotta understand, bro. This is Diddy for a long time. Puff, Sean Combs has been like on top of the world. You think they're gonna treat them any different? In that bitch, they all in that bitch for doing some heinous things. Let's just be honest, let's just be real. A nigga like that'll fly in the penitentiary. They ain't gonna rape him, take him, none of that shit. You know what I mean? That nigga having it his way. They making his bed for him. You know what I mean? Bro, they making his bed for him. He got Farnsworth Bentleys in that bitch. You think Diddy really tripping, bro? On top of that, he's getting sucked off. He like the trans community anyway, bro. He ain't that bitch playing around. Diddy, he good. He ready to go though. Any nigga will be ready to go. But that type of nigga, he's in his natural habitat. You know what I mean? I'm just being honest. I'm just being real, bro. Y'all drop it in the comments. Scars from the play. Jaguar Wright throwing shots at Tyron Turner. She say Tyron Turner had the nerve to do a whole interview denying his involvement in the naked basketball games with Jamie Foxx, but she's never mentioned Tyron Turner. Never mentioned him. You know what I mean? He just wanted the attention. And all he did was added fuel to the motherfucking fire, bro. Why? He got on her and act like he was still in men's society. You know he done fucked up, right? You know you done fucked up, right? You know what I mean? Real shit out. He just kept stuttering, bro. Like if Jamie Foxx had his way, please believe, bro, he wouldn't have sent Tyron Turner to answer nothing on his behalf. But he said it wasn't a basketball game. They were just playing horse. Did they get naked? Yeah. Assholes and elbows. But it was just horse. And they did have some women. It wasn't just all men playing game of 101. They say, bro, it did get a little freaky, but that's just how they do in Hollywood. That's all. You know what I mean? Look, shout out Jaguar Wright, because this one, she ain't gonna let her die. But like she said, bro, she thought Kane was gone. She thought Kane died in Menace to Society, fam. Surprised to see him pop up. You know what I mean? Drop it in the comments. A lot of people did, but guess what? That man ain't going nowhere. He been around. And despite him being zesty, allegedly, bro, him and Jamie can do whatever the fuck they want. They are grown, fam. They grown. If that's what they doing behind the scenes, man, is Hollywood for a reason, my nigga. The only thing that matters is whether or not your ass gonna end up in their bed. You know what I mean? Me personally, I ain't got to worry about that type of shit, so I don't care who fucking who. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Drop it in the comments, bro. Scars from the James Harden turned a $500,000 investment into $200 million. In 2014, he took Kobe Bryant advice and invested $500K into Body Armor, the sports drink company. 7 years later, Coca-Cola acquired Body Armor for $5.6 billion. James Harden took home $200 million, bro. This man ain't even got to play basketball, bro. This is what you do, bro. You get that money and you invest that money. You get that money and you flip that money. You turn 10 to 20, 20 to 100. It ain't no reason to be moving backwards once you have acquired the financial stability. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. You got to put that money into yourself. That money has got to make money or you are wasting your time. Corey Holcomb throwing shots at Joe Budden. Look, Joe Budden say Corey Holcomb was snitching on Will Smith by telling the world that Will Smith likes man-on-man action, likes to go backdoor you and all this other type of weird shit Corey Holcomb says. But look here, bro. Corey Holcomb say, bro, it ain't like that. Yeah, he ain't snitching on nobody, but when he see what he see, he must say something. He ain't even really want to drop no names. Look, Corey Holcomb a damn lie. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. He's having fun with this shit, but he want Joe to look in that camera and tell the world he has never received a pecker or took a pecker. He want to know Joe has never been to backdoor you. Well, look, bro, Corey Holcomb got a lot of shit to say, bro. It's like he knows something. Just go ahead and spill it. What are you saying? Is Joe gay or what? Y'all drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. OMBPZ survived a nightclub shooting in Raleigh, North Carolina. He was leaving the Star Bar at 4 a.m. They hopped in that Mercedes Sprinter van to leave, you know, in good fashion. 20 times. Somebody bust 20 times trying to kill him. They was trying to take him out, bro. I didn't even know Raleigh. You know what? I did know North Carolina was getting down like that. I'm lying. You know what I mean? Real shit, bro. You can't talk shit nowhere and think that you could just pull up to these people places and it's going to be all right. Well, they bust 20 at him. 20. It wasn't the 100 that Dolph received, but it was 20 shots, bro. After hitting a few cars, they was able to get out of there and they landed in a ditch. They landed in a fucking ditch, bro. Look, it's better to stay at home. Why? Because trouble is following you, young man. Look, trouble is following OMBPZ. 4 innocent bystanding cars got hit. I don't think nobody actually got shot, but this was an attempt on that man's life. Look, y'all drop it in the comments. Cars from the playground. Stay your ass at home. Stay at home, especially if you're traveling and you can't take them sticks that you talk about with you. You know what I mean? Stay home. Scars from the playground. Just being honest. I'm just being real. Drop it in the comments. Look, Bobby Brown compares Chris Brown to Michael Jackson. He say, as far as Michael Jackson goes, MJ, the king of pop, Chris Brown is the closest thing to Michael Jackson that the world is gonna get, unfortunately. A lot of people think it's Usher. Look, bro, Usher just started getting the accolades. He started giving himself the accolade. Usher feed these women cherries, and it makes him think that he's extraordinary. You know what I mean? And if you've ever seen the footage, they do be going crazy over them goddamn cherries. I got to be honest, I got to be real, but Usher ain't MJ. Usher is not the king of pop, and when they saying the king of pop, they gotta stop that shit, bro. As far as we know, Michael Jackson was a potential child molester, you know what I mean? Child predator. And Joe started him with that shit. If everything LaToya Jackson said was true, you don't want to be compared to Michael Jackson. Yeah, Chris Brown is something different. Let's just say that he's something different. Michael Jackson and Chris Brown are nothing of the same. And if we just being honest, bro, go back and look at some of Michael Jackson concerts, bro. A straight man can't even watch him. I'm going to say that again. If you go look at Michael Jackson concerts, a straight man can't even watch him. Now, them old school niggas were different. They were saying Prince was beautiful, bro. Drop it in the comments, man. They don't make niggas, like, you know what? I can't even say they don't make them like they used to, because I'm talking about them old niggas. Yeah, I'm talking about them old niggas when they thought Prince looked good. You know what I mean? Shit. I can't make this up, man. Drop that shit in the comments, bro.
If they throw it, I'ma catch it to play the game like Tetris. I'm one of a kind rap, people tell me I'm equipped. I've been working 24 hours, summertime to winter. I ain't really at the chill, it gotta be about